is Kate from Kate's Crafting Corner. It is October the 7th and I am here for another update. I normally divide my content into floss tube videos for cross stitch related things or a knitting type of podcast. But today I am actually going to combine both of them, even though I'm going to have to do a reset to reset all the things. But the issue is more editing time. I don't have a ton of time right now. And Rosie, stop. Rosie, come here. Rosie is such a mischievous little girl. Say hi. Say hi. She is basically completely like Gracie. Yep. You just do things like your mommy. Yes, you do. You look like your mommy. My husband keeps calling her Gracie by accident. He'll get confused which one is on his lap. But, she was gonna try to play with some potty pads, which is not a good thing. Is it? Nope. Anyways, so she'll come say hi for a minute. Anyway, so I don't have a ton of time to edit 2 videos. I just don't. So I'm going to film everything and hopefully get it edited together. Wanna go see? Go see. No. Hey, hey, hey. No. They've entered a barking phase and it is annoying. Any sound they hear, they've got to bark at. Anyway, so yeah, just one video, because part of the problem is that while it's processing and uploading and everything, I can't be editing the second video, and I just need to have this edited ASAP because I've just got plans and things going. I think I even filmed a video at the end of August that I never even edited or uploaded, so I just gotta do this pretty quick. I also want to apologize in advance for my nails. My husband treated me at the very beginning of September with we got my nails done and got my hair cut and colored. Like, I love this color, it's so perfect. And it was just a complete surprise and spur of the moment, and it was just really nice. And he got a haircut too, and he got a manicure and pedicure as well. He just got plain polish, but it was just a nice like day date type of thing that was completely spur of the moment and just so nice. But I haven't gotten their acrylics, and I haven't gone to get them redone or taken off. I haven't decided. These are really pretty with the flowers, however, texture-wise, it keeps bothering me, so I don't know that I'll have that done again, but my husband really likes them, so we will see what happens. But anyway, so yeah, they're kind of, you know, outgrown, and you will be seeing that as I point to things, but it is what it is. I will have life updates at the end of this video. There are a bunch. It's been a month and a half, and so yeah, there's a bunch. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started on everything. I have notes, and I mean I have them split up by all the different things, and like 5 pages, or is it 5 or 6? 5, 6, 7, a lot of pages. So let's get going, because it is 9:30 at night, and I started prepping for this like at 6. So the first thing I want to share with you guys is I have a finish. September was September Smalls, and I didn't really do much of anything with that. I wrote out a list of all of my small projects, and I finished one, and I'm happy with that. I did not get a ton of cross stitching done in the month of September. I did a lot more knitting and crochet, I guess. So a while ago, like in 2016, I started this pattern from Pedal Pusher. And I finally finished it, and I'm so happy with my finish. I brought a plain manila folder to use to put projects on to show you guys. So here is what it looks like, and I'm so happy with it. So happy. I think how I am going to finish this one is I am going to use this on probably a knitting, like that type of project bag. Ooh, cannot do the finger thing. Ooh, right there. That kind of a project bag. I think I'm going to use this as like a middle band or something like that. Because I think this is about the length. Let me just quickly measure it. So this is 13 inches, which I think is right about how wide I make my knitting type of project bags. So I think this would just be a really cute little project bag. I mean, I suppose I could do it on a cross stitch bag, but it just seems to call for the knitting more to me. I don't know why, but I really am happy with this. I'm still a little annoyed with myself that I was so wasteful with fabric. I could have turned it this way and fit like 2 projects on. But it is what it is, and I'm so happy to have finished this, and I can take off this Anna Green Gables needle minder now, actually. And yeah, I'm hoping to make this as a project bag this month. I would really like to do that. I've actually pulled my sewing machine out, and I have a bunch of sewing plans for this month. Well, actually for the rest of the year, because I am making my husband's grandchildren, fingers crossed that I get it done, lap quilts for as one of their Christmas presents. And so yeah, so I've pulled out the sewing machine. So the next thing I want to share with you is Giant Harry Potter. And this is what it looked like last time you guys saw it. And here it is now. So not a ton of progress, but I did do both of these like rods for the banners, and I started on the Gryffindor one. So I'm really happy with that. But it's going away for a little while, so. Next we have Christmas Quaker 2, Songs of the Season. And this is what it looked like last time you guys saw it. And here we have it now. And I mentioned at some point that I was going to change out all these little stars to this gold metallic, which is what I did. And seeing it now, I love that. I am loving this color on the black. I am just so happy with this project. I am really loving how it's turning out. And I can't wait to work more on it. In person, it's not as vibrant of a green. It's more darker. It's more like Christmas green, you know, like a traditional Christmas. But I've got just really bad lighting to show you guys. I have wanted to do this when it was still daylight, but life just did not work out that way. So, let's see. I think I was working on this motif last time I showed you guys. So I finished that up, did this, finished that, the little angel, started this new motif. Some of this is on another page, so I am almost at a page finish, which makes me so super happy. There's a motif over here that's actually on 4 pages, so not looking forward to that. But I'm really loving this. yes, I am so glad I finally got myself to restart it on even weave. I think it looks better on even weave, and it's just turning out fantastic. The next one I want to share with you guys is the August Cottage from Cottage of the Month series. And this is what it will look like when finished. And this is what it looked like last time I showed you guys. And here it is now. So I've completely finished the house and I've done August. And I chose this Lilo and Stitch needle minder because there's a big wave there and the bottom of this is waves. So I just thought that was kind of fun. I didn't work on the September's cottage at all. I really want to finish these cottages because I want to do the series she did this year, which was cottage sampler or monthly samplers, and the motifs on those ones are so cute. I really want to do that series, but I can't really justify doing them when I still haven't finished these ones, so that's where we're at on that. Okay, so next we have the green conversion of red. Oops, put that back over there. This conversion was done by Kelly, the Evergreen Stitcher, Kelly Dunn. This is what her finished project looked like. And here, this is what mine looked like last time. And here is where we are at now. So, I moved the Q-snap. I've finished all of the cross stitching in this area. What's left is beads, the blank spaces. And so now I'm going to finish this area up to about here, then I will move the Q-snap up. I'm really loving her. Unfortunately, my pattern is starting to mess up on the creases, which is my problem with Mirabilia patterns, is just the papers are so large that every time you take it out to work on it, you fold the creases, and yeah. So it's frustrating, but you know, oh my goodness, I hope my fabric isn't like messing up. Anyways, so I'm not entirely sure what all progress I made on here. I just know I did. I know I finished this area and it wasn't done last time because I rewatched last time's video while setting up for this one, so I kind of have an idea of where I was at, but yeah. And I do my skin 2/2. I cannot be bothered with 1/1 for skin. For one thing, I'm not particularly a fan of how it looks. I just think when all the rest of the pattern is 2/2, it looks kind of weird in a different texture, but that's just my personal preference. And I know a ton of people prefer 1/1 skin, but if you just see a lot of people doing that and you don't want to do that, but you feel like you should, you don't have to. And it turns out really nice, in my opinion, without it, so I hope I didn't offend anyone. Next up we have the Epic Storybook Princesses. That's what it will look like when done. I did not do much on this. This is what it looked like last time. And here we have it now. So basically just some of that door, maybe 100 stitches. So I did not do much, but any progress is good progress. Maybe someday soon I'll have this castle done so I can actually move on. Then we have Christmas by the Letter from Lizzie Kate. I'm working on the first letters. This is what it will look like when complete, the whole project. I love these two little motifs here. This is what it looked like last time. And here's where we're at now. So not much progress at all. I did this. I don't know if I did some of those letters. I can't remember what it looked like last time, but not a ton of progress. But this is one of my WhipGo from September. It was my September WhipGo draw, so I am wanting to work more on it to get my WhipGo goal. Finally, we have Visit Mordor from Country Cottage Needleworks. Country Magic Stitch off of Etsy. And this is what it looked like last time you guys saw it. And here is where we are at now. So I did this section over here. I picked this project to work on because I'm in this group called Utopia, and in the group you're divided into teams, or you form teams, and you are trying to, it's like a role-playing game, so but with cross stitch and crafting. I actually use knitting a lot. You're trying to make it to the new world. You're leaving your home country and trying to go to the, it's kind of an idea with like civilization and Dungeons and Dragons and that, all that type of stuff all mixed together. And so you're trying to leave your home country and go to the new world. And so right now we are shopping in our port city before we have to travel to the capital city to ask the sovereign if we can leave or something like that. And so all the supply, like every person in your team needs a horse, and a horse costs 2,500 stitches. If you want to have a weapon, you have to have so many stitches for a weapon and all those type of things. And then every mile you go, you have to do, if you're on horseback, you have to do 200 stitches per mile as a group. And so, I mean, you can travel quite a few miles per day. But the creator, she measured it all so that you know how many miles between, see, our port city is Liverpool, and I think London's our capital or something like that. We're England, but we're also the Shire, so technically all of our things are London, but I'm with a group from Stitchy Quest, and so we just decided to pretend it was the Shire. And so we have to travel about the country and try to get followers to join us in our journey to the new land. We're gonna have to buy a ship and all these kinds of things, and it is so much fun. Like, it really reignited my crafty bug. Okay, Lily's wanting to say hi to you guys now. Hi, Lily. Say hi. Say hi, Lily Billy. Yeah. Oh, you're my sweetest girl. Are you my sweetest girl? She is probably the sweetest. Gracie's the moodiest. Rosie is the craziest. And this one's the sweetest. Yes, you are. She's also the nosiest. She just is very curious about everything. So anyways, so you travel about trying to gather. We're actually worried about the plague right now because the plague has entered the port city and we need to finish our shopping and leave before the plague gets us. But it is a ton of fun. And there are still spots open if anyone wants to join. It's not too late to join. I think France just got 2 spots open. Another country has one, and then I think there are 2 countries that haven't even been formed, and so you can still form a party of 8 and play the game yourself. So it's a ton of fun. The creator Dagmar, she's doing a fantastic job, and it's fun. And it's been fun doing it with a group of friends. Although I'm sure if you did it with strangers, you would form friendships. And so if anyone's interested, go ahead and look it up. And I will include a link to the group down below. So why was I talking about that? So we found a boss, a rogue, and we had to battle him. And so for every 100 stitches, you had to roll a 4-sided dice, and that is the number of damage that you did to the guy. You also had to roll another dice, and that determined whether you hit, you got a double, whether you only got half that damage, or if it was ineffective or something like that. I don't remember exactly, because this was like a week or 2 ago. But anyways, so this was like a timed thing, and every hour she rolled to determine which in our team, and there was only 3 of us battling in that battle, which of the 3 of us the rogue did damage to and how much damage he did. And actually that rogue took me out, and that was painful, because when you're taken out, so each person starts with 20 health points. This is like, if you play computer games, this is like a computer game battle basically. And so every hour you were losing damage, and the guy took me out. I was so frustrated because we were literally 1 attack away from taking him out when he took me out. My 2 teammates ended up taking him out, but we had to do, before I could stitch for healing at all, they had to revive me, and that was, I believe that was 200 stitches for every -1 health point I had, so I was -2 health points, and then 100 to get me back to a 1 before I could even start stitching again. So that was 500 that they had to do, and then we had to do 100 stitches for each health point that each of us had lost, and so we had like 3,000 to 4,000 stitches we had to do before we could get back to shopping. But it was so much fun. So much fun. It really is so much fun. So anyways, so why I'm talking about that? Because I chose this project because it had a pretty good solid block of just stitching, and we were trying to get as many stitches as fast as possible so we could do as many rolls as possible before she rolled the rogue and attacked us again, because we wanted to take him out as fast as possible. And so that's why I worked on this project. But yeah, it was so much fun. I really enjoyed that. And I'm looking forward to meeting bad guys again. So let's talk about cross-stitching plans. I, for some reason, decided to do the ornament exchange again. Even though it was so much stress last time for me. I'm not good at doing crafts on a deadline. But anyways, it just still comes back to, it's my group, and I always feel like I should participate because of that. So this year someone else is running it, and the only kind of clue about what kind of project we got this time was if our person wanted Christmas themed or winter theme. There's a lot of things in there between. So my person wants Christmas themed, which is great. Sometimes I don't know. Looking at this magazine in front of me, there's a lot of winter themed. So whatever. This person wants Christmas themed, And aside from that, I have no clue at what direction to go. So I'm going to show you guys a couple of the options that I'm looking at. And I have to really get going on this because I'm supposed to mail it out by the 1st of November. So I've only got like 3 weeks to do it, amongst all my many other plans. So from the cover, I like this one. I'm thinking about that. And I don't think I have red fabric, but I really like how that looks. Like, I might try to find some red fabric just to make that for myself. But the one I'm really considering the most for my person is this one. Merry Christmas. And changing that to 2001. I just think that's so cute. So I really like that one. The other one I really like is in this magazine. This is all Week Styleworks, and I don't have any of the colors, but it has DMC substitutions, and I think that that would be fine. Excuse me. I just think right now I'm leaning more towards this one. I don't know why. I really kind of want this one for myself, and I don't know that I would actually stitch it twice. The other one I'm possibly considering is, I don't know, I really think this guy's cute. I tried to Facebook stalk this person, right, to get a kind of idea. They don't have any stitching on their Facebook, so I have no real clue on what direction to go. I need to ask a couple of friends who might do some sneaky for me and figure out if maybe she has an Instagram page so I can get a better idea. I want to make sure that I'm making something that is interesting to her and not something that she's like, okay, put at the back of the tree. So, I need to pick something within the next couple of days and really get a go on it. So, I looked through I have 3, and I want to get the most recent that just came out. So I need to remember to do that. But yeah, so that's where I'm going with that. Then I joined a stitch along. Actually, I joined another one, but I haven't, and the first part came out for that one too, so I need to remember to look that up. This one is from the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery Maple Lane, and this is what the first part looks like, and it just came out, and that's so cute. And I had ordered the kit, so I have it all here on my Q-snap ready to go. I have the center marked. So oh, and because I ordered the kit, it comes with the full skeins of DMC, and what I did was I went through on my floss cards and I made them, they're all so even, and I love how this looks now. It's just so nice. And I wrote the symbol and the DMC on it. So, and then there are 4 classic colorworks, and so I also cut them, or no, actually I didn't have to cut classic colorworks. They normally come folded one more time, so I just unfolded them, and it's the same length as my DMC, so I'm really happy about that. So I have this all ready to go, and I'm really hoping to get a start on it in this next day or two, because I'd like to stay caught up. It's 1 part a month. I'm also in this Christmas wreath stitch along that just started, but I haven't even looked at the floss requirements or anything. That was some late night Facebook ad that caught my attention. I think it's from Hannah's Handmaids or something like that. I don't know. I looked at a couple of her other stitch alongs that she'd done in the past that were so cute, and so I just like kind of nosedived in. speaking of Christmas wreaths, I also got the kit for the Frosted Pumpkins Christmas wreath. I've previously purchased this pattern, but they were sold out on the kits. And so I did pull a piece of fabric from it for my stash. That was a piece I'd coffee tea dyed, but I hadn't started it yet. I'd kind of earmarked that piece of fabric for a different project. And so when the is it Maple? Yeah, Maple Lane went on sale, she had some more of these up, and so I just got both of them and had free shipping. And then also I got the buttons. But they forgot to put a pack of needles in this one, which was kind of disappointing because my Frosted Pumpkin kits kind of like supplement my needle collection, because you get a whole packet of 6 bowhin, and I really like those needles. So, yeah, this club is now finished. I've seen what the finished project looks like, and it's so cute. So, I can't wait to start it. I might do this as like a December start. I don't know. I haven't been like starting so very many projects lately. Which is kind of weird. Like, it's kind of a weird place to be in where I'm not starting everything like usual. Okay, so for Whip Go, I didn't tell you guys about September or October's, so I'm going to tell you about both right now. And one of September's was the Baltic Mandala. This is one that I have started for my husband. And it's also one of my favorite chatelaines. And this is what it looks like to begin with. And I love this one so much. It's just so beautiful. And I have this on the scroll rods from my old cross stitch stand that my parents gave me as my college graduation present. But the problem is that I don't really have room for that stand at the moment. I'm hoping maybe when we eventually move and have a different setup, there might be space for that as more like a decorative type of look, because it looks nicer than my new stand for my husband. But my new stand for my husband, it's that the one from Ukraine that's really tight. Yeah, because it's really tight, I like it a lot more for stitching on, but it's just not pretty. You know, it's kind of industrial looking. But anyways, the tension on this is so loose right now that I'm thinking I just have to take it off and just work on it on the other stand. The other thing is that, yeah, so because this stand is basically in my closet, I haven't worked on it in a long time, so sorry, I think our alarm battery is messing up, so I'm going to quickly go turn that off. Okay, I'm back, and that was a false alarm. I think it was on the TV my husband has on. So, yeah, so what I was saying is I want to be able to work on this more, because it is really beautiful, so, yeah. Anyways, moving on. The next one that was drawn for September was the Christmas by the Letter. I already showed you guys that one. So then for October, the two ones that were called were Halloween Rules. So this is what it will look like when it's done. If I have a picture, I'll show you what it looked like the last time I worked on it. Oh wait, I don't need to show you that. I'm not showing you an update. I'm showing you where I'm at. So this is where I'm at on that. I would love to finish this block. It's so close to being done. Let's see, stay up late. That's what it will look like, so you can see I'm really super close. This moon is blending into the fabric a lot. Anyways, so I'm really close, and I need to do 1,000 stitches on it for my whip go goal. The other one that was drawn for this month is Persephone by Mirabilia. And this is one that I started a year and a half ago, and I was monogamous for a month on this almost, and then I haven't touched it since, and I don't know why. I really love it. Here's what she looks like, and I made some really decent progress on it. So I was back stitching as I went, and yeah, I think her head's over here. I think, yeah, if you look at the picture. Oops. If you look at the picture, her head interrupts this motif right here. So I really would love to finish this, this area. Not her head, just the background, and keep on working on it. But yeah, I really love Persephone. It's one of my favorite Mirabilias. I think she just looks so beautiful. I had 2 whip goes that were drawn on my non-cross stitch board that are quilting related. And so the first one is this puzzle quilt. And this, stop. Hey, it's just mommy. This was a present from my parents one year, because I love how it looks. But there is a lot of cutting involved, and I've never gotten past that. So here are a few of the little bits that I have cut. So maybe in 10 hours of working on this, I can actually finish cutting the material. So I need to put in 10 hours on this. This is from back when Craftsy still sold kits. I miss that. They don't do that anymore. This is, the second one is another Craftsy kit I got. And this is called Primitive Gatherings. And this is another one that I need to cut the fabric. So a lot of cutting. 20 hours probably of cutting for the 2 projects. And as I was pulling this all out, I saw the quilt for my sister, and I just realized as I was looking at it that she is moving back to America in this next year, in less than a year. So I really have to finish her quilt. That's her graduation present. And because I haven't seen her in 2 years, I think. Oh man, wow. Yeah, because we've had the pandemic for a year and a half, and I don't think I saw her since September before the pandemic. So it's been 2 years, and that's her high school graduation present. And due to the pandemic, she just stayed in Singapore with my parents for an additional time. They allow children to stay there for till they're 21 on their parents' visa. So my sister will turn 21 in this next September, so she'll have to move back. And she's planning on going to Paul Mitchell to do hair cutting. She's taking some hair cutting classes over there and really enjoying it. She does a great job, so I'm glad she found something that she's really good at and really likes. But anyways, I have to finish her quilt. So there is probably going to be a lot of quilting over the next 6 months. Anyways, so speaking of quilting, that is my last update for this segment. Then I have to stop and reset for the yarn craft section. My husband's grandkids, I am making them quilts. I found this one for his youngest granddaughter called Ahoy Mermaids. Unfortunately, I think that because these are 2.5-inch strips, a lot of the mermaids are cut out, but that's okay. So what I'm going to do is this quilt called Stroll in the Park, and it involves an equal number of plain white strips. Well, I mean, you can do it with a different color, but I'm just using white, and your jelly roll. And I'll put in a picture here of a sample that was done, but it's super simple because you take 1 strip of this and 2 strips of the white for half of the strips, and you just sew straight lines. And then for the other half, you take 2 strips of this with 1 strip of white in the middle, and then you sew 1 of the 2 whites and 1 middle to a panel that's 2 of these with 1 white in the middle, and then you cut it, and then it opens and it's formed diagonal type of stripes. Anyways, so it looks more complicated than it actually is, and it should be I'm hoping fairly easy to put together because I'm behind and I don't have a ton of time. For his grandson, I got these Peter Pan 10-inch. Hey, knock it off! Peter Pan 10-inch. I just cannot figure out a project for these because so I thought about just doing a pattern that involves alternating squares between a solid of this and then just like a small decorative. Anyways, there's a pattern that I thought I could consider doing that. But a lot of these blocks are just kind of plain, and I don't think that it would suit a pattern like that. So I'm debating doing something called like an I Spy quilt. I'll put in a picture of what that looks like, but basically it makes little jars, and I would need to cut these into quarters so that they're 5 by 5s. So I might do that. I don't know yet. That's why his is not the next one I'm going to work. Hey, stop it! And his oldest granddaughter, I am having the most trouble trying to decide what to do because she is 13 or 14. She's 13. I think she's going to be 14 in December. And it's just an age that's a little bit harder to judge what they like, what they don't like. And so I have this collection. I think they're really beautiful. Like, I selfishly want to keep them for myself. But out of what I have in stash, I think this is the most appropriate for her. So this is one, I believe these are 10 by 10 squares. So I'm going to need to cut them into quarters. And then I have 2 more blank ones. And so what you do is you take 2 pattern ones and you put them in opposite ends. This is called a disappearing 4 patch. And I will also put in a picture of what this will look like. Obviously with different fabrics and stuff. But so, and then on the opposite 2 corners, you put in the plain. And then you sew those together and then you cut them. And you do a rotation thing. So you rotate a couple of the pieces. And then you sew them all back together. And it makes it look like you've done something complicated when you really haven't. It was really simple. And so I'm thinking about doing that with these for her. So those are kind of my quilting plans. And while I have the sewing machine out, I'm also trying to make some more project bags. One thing I really wanted to figure out is I've been using stick-on Velcro. And I figured out how to do this one so that it doesn't, but it wasn't staying stuck. So I needed to sew around it. So I figured out how to do this top one earlier, I mean like a year or so ago, without it showing up on the flap. But I couldn't figure out how to do this inside one. And it just looks kind of nasty because my sewing machine is not sewing properly, especially on this kind of thicker material. I probably need to adjust the tension a little bit more to figure it out. But with the stickiness that's on the glue from the Velcro, it's getting messed up. And so I was experimenting on this one to try to figure out how I could get it so that none of the insides show. So I think I have figured it out. I've made sort of a guess. It definitely takes a little bit more time, but I think it's going to look a little bit nicer. We will see. This is my practice piece. So, so I sewed this one on. So I've sewed both sides on. But what I had to kind of do is guess at where these will end up being for the finished product before I'd even sewed. So when I come to actually like sew this part down, I'm going to have to put these together to try to figure out where exactly it should line up so that I can pin everything and make it all line up perfectly. So again, it's going to take a little bit more work, but I think that it's going to be worth it when you can't see that sewing. So, and I really love how this one looks. But yeah, I have a bunch more that I've already matched fabrics for and ironed in the fleecing. So yeah, I hope to make some more project bags, put them up on my Etsy shop. I sell about like one a year, so I've only got one up at the moment. This cute one, I think it's super cute, and if it doesn't sell, I might start using it because I think it's super cute. Anyways, but yeah, I'm just gonna put some more bags up in the shop because I've got the fabric, so why not? But yeah, okay, I'm gonna stop this here and I'll be back in a minute with my yarn updates, and then at the end I will have life updates. So talk to you guys in a little bit. Bye. Hi guys, I'm back. That took like an hour and a half, possibly more, to put everything cross stitch away and to get out everything yarn related and set up. And I thought my iPad was charging the whole time, but now it tells me it's at 15%. So hopefully we can get this recorded before it dies, but I don't know. I don't know. So anyways, it is like 11:30, but let's get this part started. I have a lot more hair than I thought I would. So let's start with what I worked on. At the start, going in, okay, a while ago, let's see if there's a date on this. In 2017, this blanket crochet along came out, and it was called Nuts About Cows. And I picked out all my yarn, and I thought that I had started it. Turns out this is all that I had started, and so I finally got a start on it. And this is a crochet along that's made up with squares designed by different crochet designers and put together by this person. Her blog is called Nuts About, what is her blog called again? It's All in a Nutshell. And so each week of that cowl, there was a different square released, and you would have to make about 3 of those squares. And they're pretty decent sized squares. So for, I was talking a lot about doing a Harry Potter knitting and crochet thing, and I applied to be sorted, and obviously I wanted to be sorted into Slytherin because I have always been a Slytherin. And I say unfortunately I was sorted into Ravenclaw. However, I have met some really awesome people in Ravenclaw, and I'm thinking I might continue to stay there, even though you're allowed to put in for a transfer during the you have to be sorted every semester, and you're allowed to try to transfer to a different house. I think I'm going to stay for a little while because I just really like a lot of the people in the house. So, anyways, so for one of the classes, I crocheted the first week, so 3 of the squares, and it took a while. But I am actually really proud of myself, and I did this within the first few days of the month, and I'd even forgotten that I'd done it until I was looking through my photos of all the things I've worked on to pull out the projects, and I was like, oh wow. So here's the first one. Here is my second one. And here is the third one. And I just love how these look. I can't believe I waited this long to really get working on this project. I have the yarn in here. It's just Caron Simply Soft. I only have like a skein or 2 of each one because you can get them at any Joann's or any Joann's or Michael's. So, I usually treat Caron Simply Soft kind of like DMC. I keep about a skein or 2 of each color, and then as I need more, I just get more. And for Afghans and like crochet alongs, it tends to be my go-to yarn to just have the color palette. So it's really soft, and I mean it's acrylic, but yeah, for Afghans and for crochet especially, I think it's great, so highly recommend it. I tried to knit with it once though, and it didn't go so well, but I might try again because I tried that when I was first learning to knit, and so maybe it'll work better now. I'm just trying to figure out where to go next. I made a ton of dishcloths and face scrubbies. They were easy things to fit into classes, so I had started this set last update. So I have 2 dishcloths and 2 face scrubbies now finished for it. I think they're fun. Then I did another yarn, this like camo green. So again, 2 washcloths and 2 face scrubs. On the blue set that I did, I was only able to make 1 face scrubby, but still 2 dishcloths. Then these were some of the scrap yarns I had, so I made 3 of these ones and 1 purple with white. And then I started the next dishcloth set. So these were all like sugar and cotton, or that kind of brand. I decided to try Knit Picks Dishy, and that's a website, Knit Picks, where you can get a lot of yarn, and their dishcloth soap is a lot softer and more like, and so I made the first one. I really liked it. I liked it so much that they just had a sale recently for 20% off your entire purchase, but the collection of Dishy soap, not soap, Dishy cottons, it's 100% cotton, were 25% off if you bought the whole collection, and you could get plain and you could get like multicolor. And so I got a complete collection of both the plain and the multicolor that was 25% off, plus an additional 20% off, so almost 50%. And yeah, I think that was a pretty amazing deal. And yeah, I'll put a couple pictures here of the box of yarn. It was like 3 layers deep, so there's a lot. I will be making a lot of dishcloths, but I'm really super excited about it. This is a much better quality yarn than this one. I mean, this is still nice and it will work great, but if you're looking for some nice dish washcloth yarn, especially if you want to use it on your face, definitely recommend the Dishy line. And this one's called Herb Garden, and I just think I love the colors. I think they're great. So yeah, those are the dishcloths I made this month. I'll put those down there. On the Coziest Memory blanket, I only managed to add 2 squares. So these 2 over here with the lightning bolt markers, so this one and this one. So I wish I had gotten to add more, but I am happy I got to add any, so that's my Coziest Memories update. Then, so what I've been doing, well, I added those squares. Here's my little bag of some scraps I still need to add. And then with what was left over, I just started a project called the Battenberg blanket, and I'll post a picture of what that kind of looks like up over here. And so you need a bunch of different colored squares, and then you have an equal amount of like a plain, which reminds me, I actually need to order that. Mrs. Babs has some undyed on a cone, and I think just one of those would be enough for the Battenberg, and it's on the clearance, and I got that gift card for my husband for my birthday, and so I was going to order one of those, and I need to do that before they all sell out. And this one's interesting because it gives you an idea of how I think these are both, they're either, yeah, they are. They're 80% wool, 20% nylon. And this, I believe, is 75% wool, 25% cotton. Or, actually, I think it's 75% wool, 20% cotton, and then it's got a sparkle yarn in there, so 5% stellina. But, so they're both called fingering weight, but you can see the difference in size here. And I'm hoping that this will just, it'll stretch out enough to make it connect. But I just thought that was interesting to see how different bases, even though they're both fingering, can make different size squares using the exact same pattern, exact same hook. And I wanted to show you guys my hook because I'm finally using one of those Harry Potter wand hooks. So see, it's like a wand. It's fun. I do struggle with it a little bit because this is not the type of tip that I prefer to work with, so I have a little bit of trouble with it. But overall, I mean, it's fun still. So with the, I have two in here that are self-striping. I won't be making the Battenberg squares with those. And I'm not positive if this is just, if these two are going to work. I might make some squares and just see, and if not, I can pull them out and just put them back with the scraps. But yeah, that's one of the fun scrappy projects I'm enjoying right now. Now I'm just going to share with you some of the starts, because I had a lot of starts. I made, okay, so my sister Alex's birthday was earlier this month. Not this month, September. September 2nd. So I finally made her pair of socks. And she told me she wanted ankle socks because I was going to make her full size. And this was using a sock blank. And so I find it interesting how the sock blank, it was a double knit sock blank. And I think it's really interesting how the colors showed. It makes me think that sock blanks aren't really for me. But she likes it. Or she says she likes it. So I hope she really does. And so this is what it looks like. And this is what I have left. So that's quite a bit that I have left to put into scrappy projects and stuff like that. I will try to have included up there a picture of what the sock blank looked like that I used for these socks. And this is a cherry vanilla. So I believe it's like, it's a free pattern. I believe it's like 5 rounds knit and then 1 round where you knit through the back loop. So it just creates these regular different looking rows, but still super easy to follow and do. And yeah, so I did this whole pair of socks this month. I'm super proud of myself. I've never done a pair of socks in a month before. Then continuing with socks, my sister Johanna, her birthday was the last day of September. And she picked this yarn that she wanted a long time ago. And it is based off of Sansa Stark from Game of Thrones, who is both of our favorite characters. We both love Sansa. And I finally got her to pick a pattern. The original pattern she picked wouldn't work with this yarn. She wanted the Red Robin pattern, which I will show you right here. And I just didn't have a... this is like 50% silk, 50% wool. And I just did not have a yarn in the same base that would contrast and look right with that. And that pattern needed a good contrast to just make it look nice. And so we found a different yarn in my stash that I'll make her those socks from. So I will also make her those socks from this yarn. And I think those will look really nice. But so the second pattern she picked, it looks like this. It's called Lavender Fields by Helen Stewart. And this is my very tiny start on that. So I'm now in the lace section, which is hard to see that I'm doing that. Yeah, right there. This had a picot cast on, and I've never done that before. And I mean, it was time consuming. I'm a little bit concerned that these are going to be too loose and not stay up nicely enough, but I just got a 10% battery warning. But hopefully she will like them enough. So I started this, did a decent amount. I am using a new kind of needle, or new to me. They are called collage square. And so the needle itself is square shaped. And this is supposed to be more ergonomic for your hands. I do get really cramped up hands when knitting socks. My main issue with this is the join. If you look over here, you can see that there is a significant size difference over here, and it makes it very difficult for me to get the yarn onto the needle every time. It's really actually quite frustrating. Because I normally knit with chow goose, and I love chow goose, except for I have been getting hand cramps when working with them. So I really wanted these to work. I ordered it in another size as well, and maybe because the needles will be bigger, it will make the join not as bad. We'll see, because I'm going to be using them in the next day or two. But if not, then for that project, I'll just buy another pair of chow goose and change the project onto that. But, yeah, these were, I mean, they're not like the cheapest. They're not stainless steel, so it's not like as smooth, but it's not bad. It's not like wood, which is harder for me to get the stitches off of. The tips aren't as sharp as chow goose, which is both a blessing and a curse because I tend to push off with my fingers, so it's not hurting my finger as much to push off, but also it's a little bit harder to get the tip of the needle under stitches sometimes. But anyways, so I'm hoping it won't be too loose for her, but if it is, I hope she's okay with slouchy type of socks. So that is my Lavender Fields Santa socks for my sister Jo. I'll just put those over there. Let's see. Next, I started my owl project, which is one that's supposed to last 2 to 3 months, and you get extra points for it in the Harry Potter school. And I am doing Beach Days wrap. That's what it looks like. And I had a 3-color yarn set in my stash that I had got a while ago, a couple years ago, for a different knit along that I just didn't end up liking how the pattern was turning out. But so these are the 3 colors, and green, and here is where I am at on that, and I am really happy with it. Right now I have to add a section of this pattern in just green, and then I will do another section of this in the white color. So by the end of this month, for the Harry Potter school, I need to have knit through this, so from here to there, and right now I'm right there. So that will be green, white, brown, white, green, white, brown, green, brown, green, brown, green, I think. In order to count that as 50% complete, which I have to reach by the end of the month. So that is my goal with this. It is kind of a big priority, and yeah, I need to do, I think, at least an hour a day until I reach that point. probably need to actually dedicate at least an hour a day of it on this until it's done, because I have other projects I have to do as well. So, okay, I shared that. Okay, so next I will share with you guys, I have been working on my Christmas Tide cowl, and I am just loving this. I am loving it so much. So I only have a little bit to finish on this purple section, and then I will have 2 more blues and 2 more of the pinky purples. So here, here's my yarns in here. And then I will be done for my, one of the other things you can do in the knitting and crochet is called a mission, and that is supposed to take the equivalent of 6 to 8 weeks. And for that, I want to complete 200 grams worth of yarn on Advent projects that I previously started. The thing with missions is you have to finish a project to count that. So I have several Advents I couldn't include with this because there's just too much to do. I would only be able to work on that project because I have to all the way finish this for it to count. So the other projects I have included with that, I haven't worked on them yet, but I will be, is my Jane Austen cowl. I would like to finish this. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 colors done, so I have 8 more to go. And then I also have my Harry Potter 12 color Advent, and this is the Perfect Blend shawl. I started this like 2 years ago, I think, and I would just love to finish this and be able to wear it. So that's where I'm at on that. You've seen all the colors have been used so far. Now it's just doing a bigger section in each color, and then it'll be done. So that is another possibility. And the last one, and I won't have to do all of these. I think I'll just need to finish 3 out of the 4. But the other option is my Advent socks that I started. So I am at the point where I need to do the heel. And so that's where I'm at. Heels aren't my favorite, which is why I've been procrastinating on it, but it needs to get done. So there is that. And then the final project I worked on this month is a new start. And let me just bring all the elements over here. So this is called the Float Tote, and it's designed by Natalie Coons of Nitty Natty. And it's for a bag like this. And I am doing a large one, so it has 5. And that is for, I want to do it for the Stephen West Mystery Knit Along, which actually starts tomorrow, which is the reason I've been rushing all of this. But I'm not going to have this done. That much is really clear. I have finished my 5 baskets, so I will be able to wind my yarn and put them in the thing. I don't know that I'm going to make the round thing that they sit on, and I don't have any of the clasps that you attach those with. I mean, I could easily buy them. I'm just not really sure that that's my thing, but I have not started the actual tote itself. This is the color I am going for my contrast color. It's being blown out a bit, but it's a really nice aqua, and I think it goes nicely with this color. so while editing this video, this is actually probably what I will be working on. And so that's the last thing I've worked on, but that brings me to the shawlography, which starts tomorrow. And I ordered a kit for this because it called for 5 colors, and he recommended like basically solids, and I don't have that in my stash. Everything is very variegated. I've been mentioning I want more tonals, but so I bought a kit, and this is what it looks like. It's so beautiful. I really love these colors. I have another Afghan started in similar colors to this, but this is clearly my color, or one of my favorite color palettes. And so tonight, after I finish filming this, I actually have to wind these and put them in the little things so that I'm ready to go. And when you ordered the kit, you also got a bag, and I love how my bag matches my yarn. So I just don't think that I can fit all 5 skeins plus the work in progress in there and not have loose things. But until I finish the float tote, I'll be using this. So that's how it came, and it's so cute. I'm so super excited. So that's just one thing I wanted to share. The classes for October came out. I've already for the Harry Potter knitting and crochet. Yeah, what are you doing in my closet, Gracie? I forgot to close my closet door, and Gracie just knocked something over. Gracie, you stay out of there. So I already completed one, which is good because you need to do that for sorting priority. You have to finish 1 class a month. So I finished one, which gives me time to finish the other 7, plus a detention, plus I have to do 1 or 2 Quidditch matches, and I have to do a headmistress challenge. So luckily last month hardly any could be not Ravelry craft, which is knitting and crochet. This time there are 6 classes that I could do a cross stitch project potentially for, which, considering I need to do that that ornament exchange, that's a really good thing. So I've sort of assigned some things to some classes, but I've still got a few open spots that I need to fill with my projects. And so yeah, this is one of my main priorities, and the reason why most of my progress is yarn craft related. So it's probably going to be like that for a while. My husband, I got him to pick a different yarn because I didn't like the yarn that he had picked. It was splitting a lot, and I just didn't like working with it. So he actually wanted a sparkly yarn, and so we picked this from my stash. So I will be making him a pair of socks from this. I don't know what, maybe just plain ribbed or something, I don't know. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. I don't know if I'll be including the contrasting heels, toes, and cuffs, but I feel like the colors are more masculine than a couple of the other yarns he's picked. My final kind of like, not final by a long shot. Okay, so, for WhipGo, I had 2 knitting projects that were drawn over the last 2 months. One was the Christmas Tide Cowl, so and I have done 10 hours on them, so I was able to mark that off. That was September's drawing. For October's was my nephew Hayden's socks, 10 hours on them. So I am at the point where I'm just doing the foot, and I'm actually waiting on my sister to give me his foot measurement. I've mentioned before he wanted a soccer, like up to the knee. So I really hope his foot will fit in here because it seems awfully small to me, but he is a pretty skinny little dude, so this is what it looks like so far, and I am hoping to finish this month, at least this sock, but I do need to get them in the mail. So they are now in London, or the London area. My sister is enrolled in university there. This is actually a new bag I got. It's for the pigskin party, but I just love the design. I am actually supposedly doing this, but I haven't updated at all. But I loved the colors for this. And actually this came with a yarn that, let me see if it's right here. Yeah, it came with a yarn, a self-striping that matches the bag so nicely. So I love that. And what I did was I put my family socks that I'm working on in here. So I actually have my dad's socks in here, my mom's sock, no, not my mom's. I have my dad's, my sister, and my nephew's. And look how roomy it is. I could probably put my mom's in here. So this bag is super roomy, and I love it. I am seriously in love with this bag. I think I also got the last one, or the second to the last. But so yeah, there's that. And I'll put that there. Let's see. In some random yarn chat, I've already mentioned 2 of the 4 things I wrote down, but my dogs got to my Hobbit sock, and that happened. And so I think I posted on a sock Facebook group about what I could do. I'm not super confident here. I think what one person recommended is that I knit the cuff again, starting with where that... Stop it, please stop it. Stop. You're being naughty. Gracie. Grace. Sorry about that. You want to come say hi? Come say hi. Come say hi, Gracie. Oh, here she is. Here's the Gracie Grace. She needs grooming. Should we share the news? Gracie had another litter of puppies. Again, not planned. She was pregnant with 5. The first one was a girl, stillborn. We lost her, and that was really sad, wasn't it, Grace? She smelled out where we had put the body and had like a complete meltdown. It was so heartbreaking. And then the other 4 were boys. They're 3 weeks old now. And Lily is actually little mommy. I will put in some clips and pictures in the life update section, but that's what's been going on and part of why I haven't been able to film. Just life is crazy right now. And yeah, but Gracie is quite okay with the girls being near them. She doesn't like when the boys are near the puppies, but Lily is basically second mom. She'll just go and check on them. And yeah, so we have them in a secluded area that has a doggy door that they can go through. But Lily is literally the only other dog who has figured out how the door works besides Gracie. And George and Sam and James are completely terrified of the door. Like, James knocked over the whole thing trying to get out one time when he went in, but he couldn't figure out how to get out, so he tried to jump over it and knocked the whole thing over, and it was a mess. But anyways, they stay away from there. And yeah, so right now we have 10 in the house, and we have 2 potential homes for 2 of the boys. So far we are not keeping any of them, which has actually made it easier for me to not bond completely with them, because I know I'm not keeping any of them. So it isn't a thing of like looking at them and seeing who's the best fit for our family, who should stay, who's my favorite, because that's part of, I think, what bonded me to all of the dogs last time. So so far it's going better, but just keep me in your thoughts, because in a month and a half they have to leave and I'm probably going to cry a lot. Isn't that right, Gracie? Anyways, so that is kind of a small life update. Getting back to the yarn stuff, the little dogs, or the first litter, got my socks and did this. And so one person recommended re-knitting the cuff and picking up the stitches there and kind of like grafting them together. I'm a little bit worried to do that, so I'm kind of waiting for my mom to come and visit so she can kind of help me. Because picking up stitches is not something I'm good at. So yeah. So I'm hoping she'll be able to help me with that. They're supposed to come in February, so this is just kind of being put to the side for now. Unfortunately, that means in the cold weather I don't get to wear them, but hopefully they're not lost completely. So we will see what happens. Right, Gracie? Yes, that's right. And then I don't know if I mentioned that I ordered a Gilmore Girls Advent set. I don't know. It was on sale. Sales are like kryptonite. Ugh. I can't resist them. But, so we'll see actually how many episodes of Gilmore Girls I'll go through during Christmas. That might be what I binge watch at Christmas time. So that's my other yarn chat. Before I do the stash enhancements, then I guess that I will do the other life dates since Gracie is here. Also, about 3 weeks ago, I had a false positive pregnancy test. It was a false pregnancy. It was a false positive. I took. I've mentioned before we're looking at IVF, and for that we had our consultation, and for that I had to take a pregnancy test to confirm I wasn't pregnant. And I took one of those clear blue with the words, and it said pregnant, like clear as day. It said pregnant. And the next day I took 2 more that were not the digital, and those both came back negative. And then my OBGYN ordered a blood test, and that confirmed it was negative. So for about 24 hours, I was about as happy could be. Thought I'd gotten a miracle. And so I've been dealing with some depression, because about 3 days after that is when we lost the little girl puppy. And both of those back to back really just hit really hard. So yeah, I've been dealing with some depression. I'm coming out of it, but it's been hard. Of course, having a house full of dogs who are obsessed with you like tiny little stalkers helps with that. So, but yeah, so that's that major life update. Aside from that, I told you guys I had the calling with the young woman, and that is going so great. Those Wednesday night activities are really helping me just with getting out the house and being able to go and do things. And the group of girls are just, they're amazing young ladies. And so far we have put together a gift basket and took it down to the fire station around September 11th. It's called Heart Attack, where you cut out hearts and you write encouraging notes and you tape them onto a person's door. So we did that for a couple girls that we haven't seen in a while, and that was fun. It's not my preferred type of thing, but it was fun. The girls really liked doing that. The other thing that we have done is we had a board game night, but actually Gracie went into labor that night, so I missed it. So that sucks because I love games. We are planning on having like following a dance workout on YouTube, I think next week or the week after that. I mean, just a bunch of really fun random things, and it has really, really helped with my depression and just things like that. So I'm so thankful for this calling and for the girls and their sweet spirits, and just, yeah, it's one of the nice things that's happening in my life. What I am now going to do is I'm actually going to stop recording here and then start again, because I'm a little bit worried that this will die and I'll lose everything. But the only thing I have left to share is stash enhancements for yarn, and there's quite a few actually. And so if you don't want to see that, don't bother, but I just want to try and get this all finished recording. So talk to you guys in just a second. Okay, so I'm back with quite a bit of yarn, like an embarrassing amount. And this is not all purchased in the last month and a half. It has just been trickling in. Some of them are from overseas, and that just takes a while, and so it is a lot, but it's been purchased over time. So yeah, I'll just preface it that way. So my last one in the Pemberley Sock series came in. I quite like this one. And this one is called The Work of Many Generations. And I think it's in reference to the library. Like, many generations of Darcy's added works to the libraries. So that is very pretty. The Pride and Prejudice just got a 5% warning, so actually I think I should be able to finish this. The Pride and Prejudice Jane Austen based one came. This is what it looks like. I'm not positive I will keep these two together. In part because they're kind of tonal, so I could use them in some projects I need more tonal things for. I'm not convinced they completely go together. I mean, I don't think they look horrible together. I'm just not, like, in love with them together. So these are two I might not keep together. This is one that I'd actually thought I'd already received. I think I ordered this June or July or something like that. And this is Anne's School Days, based off of Anne of Green Gables. This is what they look like together. This lighter one is Avonlea Schoolhouse, and this blue one is called Anne's School Days. So I may or may not keep them together. I do think these two definitely go together, but they can definitely go on their own. So I have some socks that I think would look nice in more tonal type of things like this. So I might not keep them together as like a two-color shawl or something. So my September Cottagecore Club came in, and I think this one does match the picture really well. I will try to remember to include the picture that this one's based off of. And it's called Misty Morning. And I really like this. I think that's so pretty. Not sure what I'll use it on yet, but I really do like that one. Then I got the next Weasley Club. And this one is the Weasleys Back to School Hijinks. And I like that. I just don't know that I necessarily associate it with the Weasleys or Back to School, but I think it's still pretty. I think that she definitely had some color schemes that she was preferencing that month. And these two could go together in a project, I think, maybe. That could be cool looking. And then I have 2 months of Yarnable. So, and then I skipped this month's Yarnable, November, I believe. Yeah, the picture was okay. It just didn't particularly call to me. It was a color scheme that I feel I have several of already, so I just skipped it. This one is from September, and it's called Born to Be Mild, and I think that's really fun. And then this one I got just this week, and it's Pumpkin Patch. I think that's fun. And the Pumpkin Patch one came with this cool bag. It says Nitrovert, but willing to discuss yarn. And I think that's just really, really fun. Oh, the final one that came is my Advent yarn for this year. And last year she had wound these two together, so I had thought that she only included one skein, and I was really kind of frustrated about that. So this year she put them as two separate bundles. And then one mini skein. I hope that these colors are not the same as last year's. Let's just do a little comparison. I mean, the plain one is definitely the same. Well, I don't think so, because I don't think I see that this color. I don't see any of this very bright green in this one so far. And this is what the rest of it looks like. So there's, yeah, definitely not that bright green one. So that's nice. Nice that they will be different. Trying to decide if I'm going to do them two at a time, or if I'm going to have two different needles and just do them like that. Because so my sister Alex's socks, I did two at a time on the needles. And I found the heels were really hard to do two at a time. But I don't know. We will see. But anyways, that is it. And I managed to film it all without my iPad dying, so that's a miracle. I need to get this charging so I can get it started to edit it. And while it's charging a little bit, I'm going to wind up those skeins for the shellography, and then that will be it. So I am hoping to come in a week with an update. Or a week and a half maybe, so that I can get back on the schedule I was aiming at. But when I have so much to show, it is just so hard. So I really don't want to go a month and a half without a video again. So I will talk to you guys again hopefully soon. I will now include a few pictures and videos of the puppies, and maybe of the bigger group of dogs. And I will talk to you guys later. Bye.
Really?
Look at all of them.
And who's this?
Just
James. Look at him go.
look at him walking.
James, really?
Oh my gosh. There's James, jealous of anyone else getting attention. Sleepy baby. Oh my goodness. What a crazy bunch of babies. Look at that little red one going. Lily.
How you doing, buddy? Huh? There you go. Yeah.
Everyone is up and moving about, and look, they can walk on all four legs. Last night, one of them made a break out of here. I put this bed here to hopefully like block them, but so Gracie could go in and out still. But they still Still made it over the bed on a little adventure. Look at their little walking. Just a few minutes ago, before Howard started messing with the ice, there was 8 dogs over here. And yesterday I caught Lily trying to feed one of them like Gracie does. She was laying in the bed with one of them and just trying to feed it. It's so funny. Look at that little chubby body go.